These are dark times for the world. The New World Order isn't coming, it's already prepared, waiting in the wings. And now, the spiritual leader of the Catholic Church was no longer defending the faith. He was openly preaching heresy. He was not warning about the end times, he was helping usher them in.
And justly now, Pope Francis has spent all night screaming at demons who are trying to drag him to hell, the Vatican has confirmed. 88-year-old Francis remains in hospital battling kidney failure, brought on by double pneumonia. But this battle pales in comparison, posed by the beclawed, soul-eating demons from hell.
The question isn't whether the church is under attack. The question is, has it already fallen from within? Those who knew Jorge Bergoglio best say the answer is a resounding yes.
The Fourth Revolution, theorized by Klaus Schwab and the family of international finance, find in Bergoglio not a neutral spectator, which would itself already be an unheard of thing, but actually a zealous cooperator who abuses his own moral authority in order to support ad extra, outside the church, the project of the dissolution of traditional society. While ad intra, within the church, he pursues the project of the demolition of the church in order to replace her with a philanthropic organization of Masonic inspiration.
Which raises the question, was Francis the false prophet or the Antichrist foretold in the Bible? Christian scholars are increasingly settling on an answer that might surprise you. From the moment that Cardinal Jorge Bergoglio became Pope in 2013, prophecy experts expressed their alarm, claiming that the new Pope is Peter the Roman, the fulfillment of an extraordinarily accurate ancient prophecy. According to the prophecy that has accurately predicted each and every pope in recent years, Francis will be the final pope and the end of the world, because he is the Antichrist.
As soon as Pope Francis entered the church, everyone was shocked because of the prophecy of one very important saint, Saint Malachi. Now, before you dismiss this as just another prediction, what if I told you that there's a lot of new evidence that this ancient prophecy is playing out right now? Sounds eerie, right? So let's understand what the prophecy is all about, what has been predicted, and how accurate it is. Now, the current Pope of the Catholic Church, who goes by the name Pope Francis, raised quite a stir among prophecy enthusiasts. They are claiming that St. Malachi's vision pointed straight at this year, dubbing this new Pope as Peter the Roman, the final piece of the prophetic puzzle. Pope Francis, originally known as Jorge Maria Bergoglio from Argentina, has raised questions. Despite his chosen name, some believers argue that hidden within his birth name is a connection to Peter. And get this, they're also making a case that he's a true Roman because his family has Italian roots even though he's from Argentina. And this is where it starts to get really interesting. Let's travel back in time to figure out where this prophecy comes from. The prophecy of the popes is like a list of 112 mysterious sayings in Latin that tries to tell who the Catholic popes will be, starting with Celestine II. It showed up in 1595, introduced by a monk named Arnold Wyan. He claimed that it came from visions of Saint Malachi, who was an archbishop in the 12th century. The story goes like this. Malachi supposedly had a vision during a trip to Rome that revealed the names of every pope, 112 in total, from his time until the end of days. Think of it like a series of popes, and we're now reaching the last chapter. He wrote down these visions in mysterious verses, sealed them in Vatican's secret archives, and they remained hidden for centuries. Then along came Arnold Wyan, who uncovered this ancient manuscript just in time for a holy conclave in the 16th century. Of all the ancient prophecies in the Roman Catholic Church, Saint Malachi's prophecy stands out as one of the most discussed subjects that has captivated the minds of many historians. While some people question if his predictions are for real, others find them super interesting and surprisingly accurate. And here is where you might want to pay very close attention. According to him, the 112th Pope would be the last one. His words get intense, predicting a tough time for the Holy Roman Church. His prophecy for this year ominously states, In the final persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there will sit Peter the Roman, who will pasture his sheep through many tribulations. And when these things are finished, the city of 7 hills will be destroyed, and the dreadful judge will judge his people. The end. So, are we nearing the climax of Saint Malachi's prophecy? Well, it sure appears so.
This is where it gets really disturbing. Before he was the Pope, he was a nightclub bouncer and janitor in Argentina. After joining the priesthood, he became Archbishop of Buenos Aires from 1998 to 2013 and president of the Argentine Bishops' Conference from 2005 to 2011. And he did nothing, absolutely nothing, to fight sexual abuse. This is why Archbishop Vigano is adamant that Francis was the false prophet. And Vigano is not the only one. There is a growing movement within the Church who are convinced that Francis was a demon stalking the hallways of the Vatican, whose globalist ideals were causing enormous harm around the world and threatening the future of humanity itself.
Now let's rewind a bit to October 19th, 2013, and you might want to listen closely here. A Catholic bishop named Bernard Fellet, who is more of a traditionalist, gave a warning. He said that Pope Francis was causing the Church to decline and might be signaling the start of something really bad, like the age of the Antichrist. That's a pretty serious warning, don't you think? One of the most devastating blows came in the form of an 11-page letter which hit the scene on August 25th, 2018. This letter was from Archbishop Carlo Maria Vigano, who used to be the Pope Nuncio to the United States. In this letter, Archbishop Vigano accused Pope Francis of being neglectful in his responsibilities to the Church, specifically concerning a guy named Theodore McCarrick. The accusation was that, despite knowing about sexual abuse allegations against McCarrick, both the Vatican and Pope Francis didn't take proper action. Moreover, the letter didn't hold back. It even called for him to step down from his role as Pope. And here we are, fast forward to today. The drama around Pope Francis doesn't just stay in the Vatican City, it's spilled all over the internet and YouTube. People are buzzing with charges and accusations, and it's becoming increasingly evident. It's not just regular guys on the internet. Priests, bishops, cardinals, and lay scholars are becoming vocal critics of the Pope.
So, what is the endgame? What was Francis preparing the world for? We will let those who knew the Jesuit Pope best speak for themselves.
What I've gathered from all the reports is that the George Soroses of the world, the Bill Gates, everybody involved in this reset, so to speak, and the Holy Father is their spiritual leader. I don't hesitate to say it because I'm not revealing anything that hasn't been all over the news and the Vatican and every place else. Is that they want to control the world population, completely have us under their control. The world population is too big. And so this COVID vaccine has been invented to eliminate us, to kill off a great percentage of the population so that what's left, they have a reasonable hope. I hate to use those words of Bishop Barron, a reasonable hope of killing and controlling the rest of us. So I don't think such a horror book has ever been written, horror novel has ever been written, but it's true. And I believe it 100%, and I think our time is limited.
Pope Francis's deathbed claim that he saw no light in the afterlife, that God is dead, and Jesus wasn't waiting for him, gives an indication of exactly where Francis can be found right now. In the demonic realms of the lower astral, screaming with the other demons who've been manipulating human society for eons. Here at the People's Voice, we're determined to continue exposing the elite, but we need your help. Subscribe to the channel and join the People's Voice Locals community to join our amazing team and gain access to exclusive and uncensored content. I hope to see you there. Today's video is brought to you by IPv6ers. Are you a content creator who wants to publish information online without Big Brother spying and censoring your every move? IPv6ers is set to revolutionize the way information is disseminated on the internet.